How's it going? What's up? How are you? My name's Anthony. This is Bilu, and this little shindig right here is Mitigating Madness. Before we get started today, just want to say thank you for everybody who's been checking out the videos. Genuinely, this is a new venture for me, and I'm feeling better with every attempt, with every story. And it's a couple of us right now, but hopefully that'll keep growing. That being said, do me a solid. Leave a comment down below if you have a story of your own, preferably a true experience, or if you believe it to be true. All right. Make sure to hit the like button. Hit that hype button. I think that's the thing you can do. I don't know. I'm still new to this. And yeah, leave that comment, share it, and follow me on my socials if you'd like. On Instagram, I'm at MitigatingMadness, and as well as _Tony O'Heva if you want to follow my personal account. It's kind of got more artsy stuff on there. All that being said, those links are going to be in the bio below. For today's story, it's actually inspired by the newest member of our little family here, Miss Bilu, short for Violeta, sweetheart, and she actually looks a lot like a cat that I had when I was a kid. This cat's named Malice. Now I know Malice, evil. I didn't name her, but she was a stray, and she was the sweetest, boldest, bravest little cat you've ever met in your life. And she had a fur that was a lot like Beetle over here, wherever she is. Malice was this beautiful little stray that we picked up when my family and I picked up when I was a kid. I always had an affinity for animals, so there was always little kittens or turtles. There was frogs at one point. And mind you, we lived in an inner city, so poor little guys. I mean, we didn't know better, but it's what it is. That being the case, the stray animals, the stray cats in particular, over there, my family's always fed them and everything. So Malice one day came in, and she stuck around with us for years. I mean, she had, I think, 2 litters with us. She moved with us, and that actually is to say that the story takes place in the house that we moved to. During that time, I think a lot of supernatural energy was charged up for me because of all the tense energy going on in the family, going on through the move, going on through the new start in the new town. So we moved. We move up to this town up in northern New Jersey. Mind you, we were born and raised in north New Jersey, right? But we went up a little farther up into the mountainous areas. If you know, like Pompton Lakes, Kinnelons, those areas. Not that we can necessarily afford it, but we did it. And, I was a kid, so I didn't have a choice in it. I was already upset because I was used to having like sidewalks. I was used to being able to go to a bodega. I was used to be able to let my cats out and they'd be fine. But over here, it was all wilderness and a straight road. There wasn't sidewalks. There wasn't space for that sort of thing. That being said, I stopped letting the cats out. However, my mom was feeling different. And, she grew up in a different area, different place, different mindset. So for her, she's like, look, it's a cat. Let him outside. As an adult, I guess I understand her point on that, but I still would have preferred to leave her inside, just because it was a new area, and even as a kid, I kind of understood that she could get lost. But through the years, she was always there. I mean, I in the house that I grew up in was had a few experiences, and maybe we could talk about that some other time. But she always seemed to see things, and she would just naturally gravitate towards me and always kind of comfort me and kind of sleep at my feet or at my side if there was something. Like, she just started hissing around me sometimes, and so I think maybe she saw things that even though I was seeing things, I was missing some. Needless to say, I was pretty close with Malice, so it hurt a lot when not even 2 weeks after we moved, I saw a cat on the road on my way back from school. I was on a school bus, which I had never been on before. I was just used to walking, or if not, you just get dropped off or whatever. But I was on a school bus, and I remember sitting there and I'm looking out the window and I just see this dead cat. That looked like Malice. I kept telling myself, no, it's not. It was. I spent maybe another month in denial, looking for her, going out, leaving treats, and I definitely attracted more, more cats. I learned that there's bears out there. Unfortunately, yeah, Malice, she passed. You know, she got squeezed up like a tube of toothpaste. Yeah, I know. It's terrifying, isn't it, people? You know, as it were, we moved on. We moved on. And, you know, we've had many pets in between that time and everything, right? So, what happens? Let's say like, cut to like 8 years later. No, not even. Cut to like 7 years later, right? I'm more or less an adult, really an overgrown teen, young adult, we'll say. I'm in college at the time, and now my mother's living alone in this house. You know, at this point, I had been gone for quite a few years and everything, but I had started my schooling, and so my college actually was a little bit closer to her house. So throughout the years at school, every once in a while I'd drop by and maybe stay a few nights if I needed to do some laundry, you know, the likes. So, hold on. All right, welcome back, Bilu. She's been jumping around everywhere, and so I'm trying to keep her a little bit calm. So what happens? I start visiting, you know, from time to time, do my laundry and all the likes. And on holidays, I started going over there. And you know, if I wasn't going back down to my hometown, which was honestly wasn't far. It was 40 minutes tops. Then I'd just be going over to her because she's like 20 minutes away. And so I believe it was Christmas, and we were all together, you know, just having fun, partying, there's music blasting, and we had this awesome bathroom, which there's a million and one stories I could tell you about the hauntings that went on in that house, the experiences that went on in that house, and actually, yeah, I think I will do that down the line. But just to give you a quick overview, this bathroom was maybe like 10 feet long. It was like a hallway, and it had this one long mirror. And on the other side, in the center, there was this cabinet that could open up like this, and those doors were mirrors as well. So if you looked at it in the right angle, it was a never-ending cycle. Then there was a big shower and all that stuff, access to another room. It was kind of creepy, not gonna lie. So I'm in there. I had a couple little drinks or something. I don't know. I needed to use the bathroom, and I just know that I wasn't in the all the way most sober mindset. That being said, I've not been known to hallucinate when I when I drink. I've never hallucinated when I drink. As a matter of fact, I don't understand when people say, "Oh, they saw a giant elephant." Dog, I don't know how drunk you are or what you're drinking. That you're seeing elephants, that you're seeing hallucinations, whatever. So the bathroom, big, all those mirrors, right? It's actually kind of weird because when you're using the bathroom, if you're taking a dump, then you're fine. You're looking at the door in front of you, and you know, you're minding your business. But if you're taking a leak, if you're pissing, you're staring right at your own eyes. Or if you look down, I mean, these mirrors went down all the way flush to the counter, so you're just seeing everything, and it's just a weird thing. If you've ever made eye contact with yourself while you're pissing, it's just off-putting. Now, that being said, I'm in the middle of, and I feel this. If any of you have cats, you know what bunting is. I feel bunting on my leg, you know? But you know, I'm there, and I don't see anything. I don't think about it twice either because there's also other cats in the house, and again, I've grown up with pets, so I feel bunting. And while I'm pissing, I'm looking at the mirror, and I look down, and I swear I just see this black and orange and brown cat just bunting up against my leg without a second's thought. My mind connected the dots, and it's just like my soul did, as a matter of fact. I looked at that and I was like, oh, Malice. It didn't cross my mind that she's been gone for 7, 8 years, that she wasn't there anymore. Or that she could be a ghost. Or that animals could have ghosts, even though, why wouldn't they, right? None of that really clicked in my head. I was just happy. I was just like sincerely at peace. I felt loved. I felt the warmth that she used to give me, without question. And as quick as it was, I just see her wrap around my leg, you know, as cats do, and she walks off. And I just remember thinking, oh, that was nice. I flushed the toilet, turned around, she wasn't there. And I go to wash my hands. As I'm washing my hands, it starts kind of clicking. So I'm like, Did I just see Malice? First of all, how is there a cat in here? Because the door is closed. There's no one. Like, there's nothing in here. I feel like my soul knew that she came by to visit, and I miss Malice to this day. She was just an absolutely lovely, beautiful, warm little cat. But she's nice. She's a sweet girl. I'm sure it's not the case, but there's a little part of me that likes to think that maybe there's a little piece of Malice in her, and maybe that's why we cross paths. Again, this is just a quick episode. This is just a quick story. I'm sure I'll share more as these stories go on, because if anyone knows anything about hauntings, poltergeist in particular, but I don't think this was a poltergeist. Maybe something was stuck to me, or a few things. Bad energy, bad home energy, bad frequencies are kind of it's like honey to whatever these entities can be. And I feel that whatever's looking out for me knows that, or knew ahead of time, maybe, the type of things that were going to be presented as challenges for me in life, at least at an early age, let's say. And whatever that intelligence, whatever that consciousness is, I think sent me a gift in the form of pets, in the form of little animals. Maybe it knew that I don't always have the words or the personality to connect with people around me, save a few special occasions. But for whatever reason, animals I could always connect with. Picking up Bilu literally yesterday, just kind of resurfaced all of those old emotions and those old memories. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for giving Mitigating Madness a chance. My shoulder's popping. And yeah, definitely hope to see you on the next one. I hope you all feel the love and the peaceful energy that Malice brought me that day, in whatever regards that you may feel or you may need in your life right now. The world's getting crazy out there, and I've considered talking about other topics, but I'm thinking I'm just going to stick to the paranormal, maybe hip-hop from time to time, and maybe some culinary stuff. I like cooking, believe it or not, but we'll see. Oh, you're climbing on my leg. Until then, I'll catch you next time. Comment down below with any stories of your own. Like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it.